John, Alexei Kolosov, the goalie prospects out here. Are you pleased that he's here, and what do you think's next?
I have no idea.
Are you hoping to get in the game, or?
No idea.
Okay.
John, I know you don't want to talk about your hype up Matt Hitchcock. He's only 19 years old. But watching from above and seeing some of the things he does, there was one play in the second period where he goes down like a knee and kind of corrals the puck and makes that pass to
Excuse me.
No, you're good. To Morgan as he skates through this. I mean, watching someone like that who has that, I mean, that's a play you don't see maybe once every 10 years.
You don't teach it. He can make plays. When you start getting into speed of the game, regular season, the rink. When you start getting into the speed of the game and the width, the corners, I think that's something he's going to have to get used to. Exhibition season, played against more National Hockey Leaguers last night. I think it's exciting. Jackie, you can see he has skill, and he's going to get closed out. He's going to run into some obstacles along the way. That's the feeling I'll process for him. But we're really excited about how he's gone about his business in camp.
How do you balance that? How do you balance that with knowing that he will have to make some defensive adjustments to his game and play more in his zone at times? But how do you balance kind of corralling that and letting him explode with the offense?
Yeah. I don't. I'm not interested in turning him into a checker. We want to lay the foundation. And it's going to take time. It's my job as far as play away from the puck. Are we going to beat him over the head with it? No, because we are starving for the type of plays that he can make, the instinctive plays that he can make. I do not want to overload him. We're certainly going to teach him along the way, especially situational play. I think that's the key thing when you're dealing with offensive players. There's certain times in the game that you just can't, you just got to be simple. You may have to fight another day to make that play between someone's legs. That's something I know we're going to have to teach him, but I want to let him go. We're not going to try to stifle him in any way as far as his creativity. And so it'll be a back and forth here, but he just likes playing. Yeah. He scores a goal last night, empty netter, exhibition game, and it's like it's Game 7. And I love that about him, the what he brings, and I think it rubs off on the team.
Does it get you excited?
Yeah,
you've been in this a long time. You've dealt with some other players that maybe not right there, but very close to his talent level. Does it get you? Are you like, let's go to the season already? Let's get going.
Yeah, I hate camp just as much as the players do. Not just for him, but for everything. It's something we have to go through, but. You get happy for a 19-year-old kid coming from overseas, trying to figure it all out here. Spotlight on him a little bit, high pick, and he just goes and plays. That's fun for me to watch a kid be able to handle that. I think of myself when I was that age, there's not a chance I could be doing the things he's doing. And I look at Jet, and there's not a chance. I was never mature enough to be doing something like that. So it's fun for an older person to see a young kid enjoy himself and be able to handle the situation the way he has.
After the game, Owen Tippett told us that, especially at the end, he was kind of trying to get the puck to Montbay to get him a goal in his first game. You could see when he scored the goal, the guys seemed really sincerely happy for him on the bench. When you're watching that from above, does that make you feel good about the culture that has been built here? That everybody, nobody seems like they're jealous that he's getting less.
No,
they're just supporting him.
And I think that's what's going to really help him because, as I said earlier, and I told the team, opening meeting, it's one of the best rooms I've been involved with. And when you're dealing with him, and there's a couple other young guys here, I think it kind of moves the process forward quicker. It puts these young kids at ease, and I think we have a room built that way. It's been in it a long time, and you have up and down situations with your locker room. Trying to ride this one as long as we can, because I think it's been really strong, and it's certainly helping out with these guys that are in our camp right now.
John, you told us that Panarin was always the best player you've seen play tired. And
Yep.
by no means am I comparing Mishkov to Panarin, but does he have some of that? It seems like when the game gets later and more minutes are on his plate, he gets better.
Yeah. Shift length is something we're going to concentrate on with him, because he's not used to playing. He hasn't played 82 games or whatever we do after that, if we're fortunate enough to do it. So I think we got to really concentrate on the shift length. But it's funny how you watch a guy like him, where it might be a little bit of a struggle to get back when you don't have the puck, and how quickly the energy comes back when they do have the puck. And Brett is one of the best at it. It's like it's just. I think Mish has a little bit of that, and I want to let him explore that. I do, but I also have to be aware he's 19 and understand the grinds of this league. He doesn't until he's gone through it. We've got to be sure we're handling him the right way.
Bobby Brinks put on, we saw he looks bigger in the upper body, and I know you talked about it a little bit. How can that help him moving forward? Because, you go back to last year, he had a great camp, makes the team out of camp, and obviously he's still a young kid. There were some ups and downs. Do you expect him to be more consistent, maybe to be able to handle the rigors of an 82-game season more this year?
Well, just like we talk about these guys not being experienced with it, I think Bobby has some experience now as far as what it is to be a pro and how you handle yourself and all the time it takes to play a season. Up and down and the bussing and flying, and I think he's had a really good camp. It looks to me, I was talking to Danny last night, I think his skating, or at least he looks like a better skater. He looks like he's putting some space in between him and the defenders at certain times. Been pretty consistent through the camp. I'm always careful because it's camp. When you start the real stuff, and you start to travel, all the time that goes into it, playing every other night, playing against National Hockey Leaguers, that's why I just can't make a judgment. But I think he's had a very good camp, and hopefully, he's gone through the process a little bit. Hopefully this sticks a little bit longer and the consistency comes.
He obviously, is probably the guy that was most affected by Michkov's arrival, right? I mean, now he's got Konechny and Michkov above him on the depth chart. Do you want to see him, push guys like that for more responsibility?
Yeah, and I'm not saying Misha's above him. I'm not sure what that depth chart is, but it's certainly a right winger. Players are very perceptive as far as when it comes to this time of year and where they sit. He knows where he's at, and I think he's had a really good camp, and he's one of those players where the puck follows him, and it's an important guy to have when we're trying to create more offense. I just want him consistent, and hopefully he takes a step in the right direction there.
With Jet, you mentioned him a few minutes ago. When we talked to Rocky after the game, he said they put a lot on his plate, and he was good, but maybe nothing special. I guess, does that kind of line up with what you saw from above with this game?
I thought he got better as the game went on. He made some good plays. He made some subtle plays that I don't think it doesn't stand out, but for me, it does in some subtle plays. I'm not sure how he felt playing with TK. TK's hard to play with, because you never know. It's TK. That's what I think makes him a great player. He's so all over the map and so reactive that sometimes it's hard to read and what to do. So, and also, TK is one of the top players, and you got what's he, 19 or is he 18? He's 18, and Misha's 9. Yeah, and he's saying now I'm playing with TK. A week and a half into camp. Again, how much? I go back. Could I do that if I'm 18? There's not a chance. So we just got to let. I thought as the game went on, he made some really good plays. I thought both of the kids made really good plays. So he's another guy that we're going to keep on watching and see where it goes, and not discriminate because he's 18. We're going to watch him play and make our decisions that way.
You had a lot of praise for Samuelson last season, and now that he's had the summer to rest and train, knowing that he's going to be the #1 goalie. Just what was your assessment of him last night? Fantastic game.
See, for me, last night's game, for exhibition, because I don't care about the result. It's not I don't care. You want to win when you put the uniform on, but I don't. I'm not going to beat them up about it. I don't think we played that well at certain times, and Sam kept us in there. So the exhibition game was Sam gets a ton of work, which we want our goalies to do, and also won the game and played really well. So that's perfect as we go along here, because you want to win the games, you want to play the right way, but you also, in our situation, we want to see our goalies. It's a different landscape for us now with our goaltending, and we want to give them some work and let them get ready. So it worked out perfectly. I have never, from day one, and I've said it to you guys half a dozen times, I've never questioned Sam's mental makeup. That's a key for him here, being kind of put right into a situation where we were going to spend some time with him, with Carter and all that. It's changed. I think he can handle it.
Said that a lot of what makes Sam so good is what he does in practice and off the ice, and not necessarily something that fans would see in games. Is that something that you notice about him?
He prepares. I think our goaltending coach does a terrific job with our goalies, but I think the goalies sometimes need to have a little bit of their own work themselves without the coach being there. I know he prepares. Look, he's licking his chops here, right? He's got an opportunity, and I just think the mental part of that position is the most important part. Sam's got to realize now, I'm the #1 guy. I'm not the backup. It's a total different mindset. But that's what's encouraging to me with him, because I think he has a really strong mind. So last night, that I left the rink. I don't think I thought we were brutal sometimes during the game with some of the turnovers, and we have forgotten that we can move the puck forward instead of between our feet and over here and over there, and it caused some problems for us. But it gave Sam the work, and I think he should feel really good about it. So I think that's really important as we're going further and further along in camp.
With Sam this season, you've been pretty open about the fact that, the end of last season, well, he dipped. A lot of that was probably the workload. He didn't really get a chance to reset and everything. Yeah. Going into this year, he's starting out as the #1. You said you want to give him a big workload, but you want to make sure he has a chance to rest. You're not going to load him up. But with the goalie situation behind him, Fedotov's an unknown. He could be real good. Yeah. He might not be. You just don't know. You'll see when you get out there. Is there an organizational, not mandate, but just a consensus that, kind of like regardless of how well the backup's playing, we can't overwork Sam, we got to give him a fair shot?
Yeah, we can't. When I overworked him last year, it was crunch time at the end. And quite honestly, and I've been very honest about it, I don't think our other goalies were playing well at all. And I would have used someone else if I had any type of confidence at that point in time. I'm not saying now, because it always ends up you clear your mind and the goalies get another opportunity. I don't think any of them were playing that well, and that's why I made a conscious decision and that I was going with him. We were going to sink or swim with him, and but it's not. That's not happening now when we start our season. No, we need to do this the right way. We can't overload them at the beginning of the year here. That's not the way we're going to go about it. We're still going through a process as a team. It's a situation we have to find a way to win consistently as a team throughout the regular season. You're not going to do it by playing that #1 goalie over and over and over again. We're going to give Fedotov some time. Hopefully he steps up and goes from there. And if that doesn't work out, we've got to reassess. But it's not going to be Sam Urson all the time.
Is it Fedotov tomorrow? Are you able to say?
Is it Fedotov tomorrow? I think it is, yes. I'll
give them the whole game like you said last night.
I'm not sure. I've left that up to Dilly. It's like I left the line. Camp for me is to watch them. I need to show Danny and organization they want to see some people, so I let them do the lineups and I let Dilly do the goalies with the mandate of getting Sam ready to go, because Sam is our #1 goalie, and just make sure he is ready to go. Or really our first, and Fedotov. So I let Dilly do all that. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on with the goalie tomorrow.
How do you look at number-wise with Sam then for the year in terms of games as a #1?
Just like you do it nowadays. It's it's like the pitch count and all that. It's probably 55 and 60 in that area there. We have a break this year with that. What's it called? The Four Nations. So that could change some things. But it's a constant conversation with Dilly and I, and Dilly and I have some good conversations as far as where we're going with it. So.